Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, before I start this lesson, I want to start by giving all praises to our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Bakah, Hakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And Shalom to the whole full elect and you Icon that are pushing this word with all truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Shalom, Shalom. And this is going to be a topic of just going into, the great deliverance. And I'm gonna start in Revelations 18 and go on down. So this is Revelations 18 and I'm gonna start at verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, that ye receive not of her plagues." So does this literally mean come out of Babylon the Great? Because this is going into Babylon, So does this literally mean to depart from Babylon, go to Costa Rica, or travel outside of the state? Now this means to come out spiritually from Babylon, the ways of this world, the ways of this society, because the ways of this society is backwards and it leads to pure destruction. So verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High remembered her iniquities. A lot of things that Babylon pushes forward are abominations. LGBTQ. Women can have multiple husbands. Things of that sort that E pushes throughout America. Things of this, all these unrighteous decrees, all these sins that Babylon has piled up on itself. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double into her double according to her works. In the cup she had filled to her double. How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So she, Babylonians' mindsets is, no one can touch me, man. I'm perfect. I'm a queen. I'm no widow, and I won't see no sorrow. She's saying that. Verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mournings and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. So if she wants to say, nothing's gonna happen to her, who's gonna humble her down? The Lord. Pride goeth before destruction, and America's full of pride. But what does it say? Mournings, famine. You got things brewing up that are gonna lead to these things, right? So right now. But she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judges her. And you can read that in 2 Peter 3. And I'm going to start at verse 6. Whereby the world then was being overflowed with water, perished, but the heavens and the earth which are now by the same word are kept and restored, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So what happened back then? The flood, time of Noah. Now with this time, it's gonna be what? Fire. The ICBM is. Let me get this, because it said world, right? This is 2 Ezra 6 and verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So this world, is talking about E's world, the end of E's world. And that's what we're seeing right now. And I want to get Isaiah 24, because it describes how this world is going to be shaken up when it gets hit by these ICBM missiles. This is Isaiah 24 and verse, I could start at, I'll just start at 18. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. Because these nukes are going to go through everything. The scriptures talk about it running into the windows and out the doors. The earth is utterly broken down, and the earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth is broken down and the earth is clean dissolved. What do you know on earth that can do that? It's the ICBM missiles. The scriptures talk about the Lord creating the waster, which I'll get. This is Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. What does the smith do? A smith is known for dealing with metal, working with metal, forging and things of that sort, making swords, making weapons, But what is the smith making? And I have created the waster to destroy. There's a reason why these ICBM missiles were created in the first place. Why? Because you have the nukes that were dropped in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and things of that sort. But those were, if I'm not mistaken, hydrogen bombs. Now you got ICBM missiles, into it's like, I forgot what it even tells for, but these nukes now are able to destroy, the ones that Russia has. There's the Satan missile, able to destroy all of Texas, which they claim. So that's not something light. And when they get ready to be shot up and get sent across, Russia's not just gonna send one missile. America's gonna be sending them back over there too. So it's gonna be, the earth is utterly broken down, and the earth is clean dissolved, and the earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and they shall fall and not rise again. Because back in Revelation, the 18th chapter, it said her sins had reached into the heavens. So it's gonna move to and fro like a drunkard. The earth is gonna be boom, 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 shaking, and I actually have a testimony, a crazy dream, going into that. Probably make a lesson on it. But yeah, that's how the earth is gonna be when those things get set. When the ICBM missiles get set off. And in Zechariah the 12th chapter, which I'll just hit it real quick, just so. Zechariah 12 and 12. So like 14 and 12. And it shall be the plague where the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. And that's the effects of these humans, these people, these nations, these 2/3, when they come in contact with that heat of the ICBM missiles. And while this is being let off, while things are hitting the floor, people are getting consumed away into their eyes, people are melting, being burned. What's gonna happen? This is Isaiah 26 and 20. It's a balance, these things, it's gonna happen, but the elect are hoped to be part of, the 1/3, the elect. Part of the 144, the 1/3, just to be saved. That's just it, just to be saved, making it into one of the chariots, making it into one of the chambers. It's a balance, we know these things are happening. You have all these plagues laid out in front of us. You have all these prophecies that are going to tell us what's getting ready to come upon the earth. But we also have an escape route. We also have what we need to do in order to escape these things that are getting ready to come upon the earth. The Lord's not just going to leave us with what's going to happen. That's just it. So this is Isaiah 26 and 20. Come, my people. And what did it say in Revelations, the 18th chapter? Come out of her, my people. So it's a little wordplay. But come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Lord cometh out of this place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. Was that not the same thing written in Revelation, the 18th chapter? The earth also shall be, the earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. That made them will have, I'm gonna reread that. For behold, the Lord cometh out of this place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. That made them will not have mercy on them, and he that formed them will shew them no favor. Because the Lord is the one that created all these people. You know, the Lord is the one that created all our lives from the beginning of time. But hey, what did it say while all these things were going to get ready to happen? Mainly the last plague. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and hide thyself as it were for a little moment, as the indignation be overpassed. Now let me get you this. So we're going to hide in the chamber, right? This is Revelations 15, and it's like it was Revelations 15. Count Revelations 15, and 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the name, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. Because those, the servants of Yahweh Shai and the great multitude, the 1/3, they're gonna get victory over the mark, and over the name, over the, over the beast. We're gonna, I don't want to be those men, but we're gonna get, if we are, we're gonna get victory over the things to come. Mainly the charagma, and with just great temptations getting ready to come upon the earth. But where are we gonna see? And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that got the victory over the beast, having the harps of the Most. Oh, it says stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. And I actually had a dream. It was just a dream. It was actually a vision because it tied in perfectly with this precept. As soon as, I'll just skip straight to the end. As soon as the nuke hit the floor, the fire was going into the shed that I was covering myself from. And in the dream, I was saying, Shai. As the flame was coming close, next thing you know, I just see my hands on a literal glass piece, seeing America on fire. So yeah, hey, this is just a vision. I don't want to Zai, I'll be one of those men, as well as Joachim, And then let's get, I want to get Jeremiah 15:28. Jeremiah 15:28. This is Jeremiah 50. And 28. It's like actually, yeah, kind of start that. This is Jeremiah 50, and I'm gonna start at 25. The Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. Hey, that waster, that waster in in Isaiah, the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. These ICBM missiles are actually part of the Lord's work. So when you see that power, man, that blast that comes from those ICBM missiles, that's a sign and a show of how strong and powerful the Lord actually is. Come against her from the come against her. This is verse 26. Come against her from the utmost borders. Open her storehouses, cast her up the heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Let nothing of her be left, because these ICBM missiles are what we kept on reading. It's gonna melt everything. It's gonna dissolve everything. Babylon's gonna be left, burned, cleaned. Slay all of 27. Slay all of her bullocks. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come. The time is their visitation. The time of their visitation, because it's how the Lord is gonna visit these people, man. The only ones that are going to get saved out of this thermonuclear destruction are the elites of these nations, so they can become the first slaves to the kingdom of heaven. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. It's like all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she has done, and do unto her. For she has been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. And that she is talking about Babylon. And you can read that in Revelations, the 18th chapter. She sitteth as a queen, and nothing shall. What is it saying? It's like, I want to just picture that. Revelations 18. This is Revelations 18. And Revelations 18 and 7. How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she said in her heart, in her mind, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And what it say right here, 29, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against round about, let none thereof escape, recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. Her sins have reached unto heaven, for she had been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. And you can read the archers, just to further prove it. I'll probably close out after this, just to further prove those archers. This is Revelation 16, Revelation 2nd Ezra 16 and 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss once they begin to be shot to the ends of the world. That's how you know it's not talking about an actual arrow or a bow, because no one can. Who do you know in the world that can shoot an arrow from America all the way to Russia, from China? Behold, the plagues are sent. So this is talking about a plague, and what's specifically this is talking about the ICBM missiles, the plague written of in Revelation the 18th chapter, Revelation the 11th chapter. And you can go on, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Because once these missiles are shot, that they're not just gonna, he's not gonna destroy them with their what is it, bomb defense defense I forgot what they're called, but their defense system that they have against these nukes. And the missiles, once they're shot, they're not just gonna come right back. The fire. Okay, so what are these arrows gonna do? What are these arrows that were shot into the ends of the earth? What are they gonna cause once they land? 15. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consumes the foundation of the earth. So these arrows are gonna what? Do what has it said in Jeremiah the 50th chapter, Zechariah the 14th chapter, 2 Peter the 3rd chapter, Jeremiah the 23rd chapter. Because these arrows that are spoken of are talking about the ICBM missiles, how the world is going to end. Ezra's seen this. Verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because after Ezra seen this vision, man, you know it was heavy. You know it was heavy, man. Just thinking about how powerful and destructive these missiles are. At the time that he was there, when Ezra saw this, they didn't have missiles back then. They didn't have no type of power of that sort back then. That's why he was likening them into what? An arrow. Students as a strong is the right hand that bends the bow, his arrows that he shot shall be sharp and shall not miss once they began to be shot to the ends of the world. So he likened the missile into an arrow being shot to the end of the world, and once it lands, boom, kindles a fire, and it's gonna consume the foundation of the earth. So when he seen this, it was like, woe is me, who could deliver me in those days? But that's why I brought out Isaiah the 26th chapter, because we're gonna be in those Adorantazawi, one of those men. We're gonna be in those chariots, which the world even calls UAPs or UFOs. We're gonna be in those while the Angel Nation is being overpassed on the earth. I don't want Adorantazawi to be part of those men, but I want to close out. I want to give all praises to our power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Makabudash. I don't want this lesson was edifying. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, are the true leaders of Israel today, and who taught me the 100% truth according to the scriptures. Shalom to the hopeful elect and you Akim that are pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.